Now we're going to be talking about how to master time management. So this is probably one of the most asked questions for musicians or just anyone, because a lot of the times we really feel like we don't have enough time. We are taking on so many roles. We have to practice, we have to promote ourselves on social media, we have to arrange our own travels for all the gigs that we have to do, we have to build our own website or design our own electronic press kit, and we have to reach out and serve as an agent or artist management to reach out to venues or presenters, concert series, or artistic directors. So we are really taking on all these roles beyond the musician role. And so a lot of the times that could be very overwhelming, and sometimes we lose track of, okay, I am doing so much, but then I don't have time or I don't have enough time to focus on what's the most important. That's to actually practice and play the concerts or to teach, for example. So today we're going to go through some of the myths and truth, as well as some of the steps that really helped me with time management. Because like all the musicians, I am a teacher, I am a performer, and I even teach yoga because I'm a certified yoga teacher as well. And I also love doing all the things in my life that I don't want to give up just because I'm a musician. So I also do bouldering, I also go surfing. And so time is something that's very valuable for me. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is what I would often ask my students. So if you're in my studio, you'll often hear me say, what is legato? And the answer is legato is an illusion. So a lot of the times we think if we could just connect our fingers when we're playing the notes, then we will create legato. But that's actually not true. Legato is created by ears. So you have to listen so attentively to the point where you can match each note. So then you can create the legato. So it's not just about connecting your fingers or using your pedals. And you can try it on the piano. You can have both the fingers and the pedal, and still it could sound non-legato. Whereas you can actually lift your hand and have that physical gesture that's detached, but you can still create a legato sound because you are matching all the tones. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. So each of my octave, I actually release my hands, but ideally or hopefully, it still sounds legato because I was matching with my ears. And time is the same thing. It's an illusion. So saying that I don't have time or I don't have enough time, that's not really true because each of us have 24 hours a day, and that's a fact, or the fact that we know of for now. So the problem really comes down to how do you prioritize your time. And I really like what my mentor, Professor Hong Kwan Chen, said. He said to give time is to give life, because possibly we all have a time limit or expiration date on this planet, on this earth. But how do you utilize that time? That's up to you. That's something you can decide. So it's very important that you are prioritizing your time according to what you deem important. So I actually use the Eisenhower matrix to help me prioritize my time. So the matrix pretty much divide all tasks that you have to do into 4 categories. So the top priority is the category where it has tasks of important and urgent tasks. So you have a concert coming up, you need to practice really hard, and that's your important and urgent tasks. The second category is important but not urgent. And the third category is not important but urgent. So as you can see, these two categories, they're kind of similar in words, but they're actually very different in mindset and in reality. So important but not urgent. What are some of those things? So these are things that might be very important for your growth, for your career, for your life, but there's not a deadline or someone to push you to get it done at the specific time. So for me, a lot of the times that would mean reaching out to concert venues, to concert series, to artistic directors, because if I don't reach out to them, then they don't know about me, then I will definitely not get concerts or concert engagements through that, because if they don't know me, they cannot invite me. So I have to constantly promote myself. But there is not a deadline to really do that. There's no one to tell me you have to do that by this Friday or next month. It's all my own deadline. So there is not really an urgency to that. So a lot of the times when you identify tasks like that in your life, you want to make sure they are higher up on your priority list. And the third category, the not important but urgent, is things that doesn't really affect too much in your life, in your career or your growth. However, there is a deadline, so you feel like I have to do this by a certain time. Some of these tasks include replying email, for example. A lot of the times, they are not the most important thing in your daily routine. Of course, you can set aside a specific time to reply emails. But when I first started my teaching job, I always have the notification on. Whenever someone emails me, I feel like, oh, I have to email them back right away to show that I care and that you are my priority. But actually, it's very unhealthy for me in a way, because I could be practicing and then the notification come on and then I will have to stop practicing and then reply. So now I changed my mindset as well as my method and system, so I don't have my notification on anymore, and I designated a specific time of the day where I give attention to all these emails, but it will be later on my day so that I can focus my energy on my practice, my progress, or my students at the beginning or earlier hours of the day. So you want to identify the important but not urgent tasks and put them on top of the not important but urgent tasks. And finally, last category is for tasks that are not important and not urgent. And of course, they would have the lower priority. And something very important to think about is that while we all have 24 hours a day, our energy and our willpower is not unlimited. So we have limited energy and limited willpower in a day. When do we usually have most willpower and energy? So energy and willpower could be kind of similar. So for me, energy is something that sometimes you can gain through different things. Say if you are an extroverted person. For me, I love performing and I love having huge audience. So when I see huge audience, it actually boosts my energy up no matter what time it is. And so you want to find things that could boost your energy. If during a day, you can actually do a record of when is the time where you are most productive, that you are able to get a lot of things done. And usually that's when you have more energy. For me, morning times are the best time when I have the most energy or willpower. And so I like to schedule the most difficult tasks in the early morning. So that's why I memorize music early on in the morning, so that I can get the most difficult and most energy consuming task out of the way right away. Willpower is a little bit different. A lot of the times when you make decisions, you need to use your willpower. So should I eat chips or should I eat a healthy meal? So that takes willpower to decide, to control. Should I practice or scroll through social media? That takes willpower and sometimes energy as well to control yourself. And if you are an introvert, sometimes socialing with people also takes up a lot of your willpower or your energy. So ideally, we have more willpower early on in the days, and gradually as we make more and more and more decisions during the day, throughout the day, our willpower depleted a little bit. So the important thing here is that you want to minimize the opportunities where you have to decide for things. Say if I am someone that I want to set a routine of doing yoga every morning, and in order to not have to fight with myself saying, oh, should I sleep for 10 more minutes or should I just wake up and do yoga, or should I just go eat breakfast, or should I do yoga first? So the easier way would be if you can lay out your mat next to your bed on the floor, so that the first thing you wake up in the morning before you have to go to the bathroom, you are passing the mat. Or on the way back, if you want to sleep in, you have to pass the mat, then hey, might as well just do yoga, right? Another thing is I like to kind of open up my music scores before I have to go to bed, so that the next morning when I enter the room, all the scores, metronome, pencil and pen, and my notebook are all already set up. So then I don't have to spend my willpower to do other things. I can just dive right into my tasks. So that's kind of different tips that hopefully will help you to master your time management. Thank you for watching.